In Empower 9, we've introduced a new feature for much better conversion results. So what we mean is when we want to convert an old presentation via our convert slide or convert presentation feature into the latest template. So what is now possible is the following. Let's look at an example to make that clear. So in this case, we have an old template or an old presentation here. And for example, we used to have this layout. So this is like a typical divider slide, right? So we have here one text box and an image in the background. So if you look at that layout, that's a typical chapter here with two placeholders. So now let's look at the new template. In the new template, we have made some slight modifications because we redesigned our entire template. So this is the new divider with a picture. But what you see here is maybe in this case, we wanted to add a numbering. So we have two text boxes and the image placeholder. So with all the mapping technology that Microsoft provides, which is not so much, and our existing functionality, this matching from that specific old layout to this new layout was not possible because different number of text and placeholders would eventually lead to a fact where we just have to try to get the content somewhere on a basic empty slide. But now we've introduced placeholder mapping, and that works as follows. So the idea is, so whenever we use such a template here or such a layout in the past, we now go to the slide master. So whenever we have such a layout, we want to say, in that case, this image placeholder, I can now say here in the very bottom, shape conversion, I want to select this as source placeholder. Now I go to the new template, also go to the master view and choose the one layout that I want to map this old layout to. So I could go here on the image placeholder and say I want to actually, so first here I select the one. Let me show you. Select, and now once I've selected, I can say here I want to actually select this as the target placeholder. Now I do the same for the text. So this text in here should now go to, I select it as a source placeholder, and I go to the new template and I want to put it in here, not up there, right? This can also happen if there's no logic. Set this as target. So this is just one example. So now I've taught Empower, whenever you have any presentation that you're converting with such a layout in use, go to this new layout with those rules where to put the content. And we can look at that example. So here I have a presentation. That's my old presentation where this layout is in place. And if I now click on Convert Presentation, let's have a look what happens. And what we want to see is that this chapter divider is now converted to the new one. And you can already see here, that's exactly what happened. So that was the layout we just determined. The picture and the text was put into the right placeholders. And now, of course, I can add my numbering. But that's exactly what we want to achieve. And this, the beauty of that functionality is that if you look at your old presentations and old templates, there might be many variations. You can just, by putting up the new template and the old template next to each other, you can just go through your layouts and say, okay, this layout should be mapped to this particular new layout. If you don't do that, we still have all the logic in place to find the best possible match. And if not, we'll just go to title only. But for those specific ones, maybe one more example, if you see here in the old template, what we also said is, for example, this specific layout should go in the new template in a very different layout, for example, here. So that was on purpose. So this is something that has never been possible in the past, that you map these kind of layouts to a very different layout with a different number of placeholders in a new template. So with this new functionality, we believe that we actually go from 80% perfect slide conversions to more than 95 or even 100% in case you do a lot of simulations with your old presentations in order to get those mappings in place. One last point that is important to know, in the new template, once you've made these mappings, Of course, it's important once you've done that you actually save your master as a new version, or overwrite the existing master and save it to the library, because these information are now stored in just this local template, and now you need to upload it to Empower that these effects come into play. So yeah, that's the short introduction. So a very powerful feature, and we hope you enjoyed and have spent much less time converting old presentations.